on destroying books. खुलासा या फिर summary. Once the British people presented to the troops more than 2 million books, most of these either difficult to read or absolutely useless. Perhaps the people wanted to get rid of the rubbish, therefore they donated them. People should not keep the books they do not want. People should not keep the books they do not want. It is not a good hobby to collect inferior, worthless books. People who do not read books are fond of displaying them on the shelves. This is simply absurd. Useless books must be destroyed, but it's not always easy to destroy books. They cannot be burnt or disposed of easily. Books die hard. If one tries to throw them into the river, one runs the risk of being arrested on the charge of theft or murder. The author himself faced the danger while throwing his sack of unwanted books. He put the worthless books in a bag and carried them to the river for drowning them at midnight. He met a policeman who seemed to look at him suspiciously. He heard footsteps while he was on the bank of the river. All this frightened him much, and he was afraid of being caught at any moment. Finally, he recovered his wits and threw the sack into the water. The book sank down to the muddy bed of the river. The author felt a little sorry for his action, but he thought that destroying worthless books was better than sending them to the soldiers. खुलासा ये कि एक दफ़ा बरतानवी अवाम ने फ़ौजियों को कोई 20 लाख से ज़्यादा किताबें तोहफे में भेजीं। उनमें से ज़्यादातर किताबें या तो पढ़ने के लिहाज से मुश्किल थीं या बिल्कुल ही बेफ़ायदा थीं। शायद लोग काट कबाड़ से जान छुड़ाना चाहते थे, इसलिए उन्होंने ये किताबें अतिया में दे दी। लोगों को ऐसी किताबें नहीं रखनी चाहिए जिनकी उन्हें ज़रूरत नहीं होती। अदना और फजूल किताबें जमा करना कोई अच्छी आदत नहीं। जो लोग किताबें नहीं पढ़ते उन्हें बड़ा शौक़ होता है कि वो किताबें अलमारियों में सजा कर रखें। ये महज एक मज़े का खेज़ बात है। फजूल किताबें तल्फ़ कर देनी चाहिए, लेकिन किताबों को तल्फ़ करना हमेशा आसान नहीं होता। इन्हें आसानी से जलाया या तल्फ़ नहीं किया जा सकता। किताबों को मुश्किल से मौत आती है। अगर बंदा इन्हें दरिया में फेंकने की कोशिश करे तो वो कत्ल या चोरी के इल्ज़ाम में पकड़े जाने का ख़तरा मोल लेगा। ख़ुद मुसन्निफ़ ने फजूल किताबों का एक थैला फेंकते हुए इस ख़तरे का सामना किया था। उसने उन बेवक़्त किताबों को एक थैले में डाला और आधी रात के वक्त उन्हें दरियाबर्द करने के लिए लेकर चल पड़ा। उसे एक पुलिस वाला मिला जो लगता था कि उसे शक की नज़र से देख रहा है। जब वो दरिया के किनारे पर था तो उससे कदमों की चाप सुनाई दी। उससे वो काफ़ी घबरा गया और वो डर गया कि किसी भी लम्हे उसे पकड़ा जा सकता है। आखिरकार उसके होश व हवास बहाल हुए और थैला दरिया में फेंक दिया। किताबें दरिया के कीचड़ वाली तह में डूब गईं। मुसन्निफ़ को अपने इस अमल पर थोड़ा सा अफसोस हुआ, लेकिन उसका ख्याल था कि फ़जूल किताबें सिपाहियों को पेश करने से उनका तल्फ़ कर देना बेहतर अमल है। अब अल्फाज मानी। तो पहला अल्फाज मानी, ऑडेस्ट मीन्स स्ट्रेंज, इंस्पेक्ट मीन्स स्टडी, इनडाइजेस्टिबल मीन्स इनकम्प्रीहेंसिबल, रिलक्टेंट मीन्स हेजिटेंट, एंड वर्थलेस मीन्स इनसिग्निफिकेंट, sorting out, arranging, scaffold, gallows. It is sometimes difficult to find a scaffold for them. Scores, numerous. Scores means numerous. Consign, send. Improvised means contrived. Fancied, he looked suspicious, doubtful. Swag, stolen good. I have swag in this. Perhaps he suspects I have swag in this. Stolen goods. Furtive act means secret act. Acquitted me, he acquitted me means released me. Implications, effects. Implications means effects. I leaned against, leaned means bent. Luminous, brilliant. Rumination, thinking. Pedestrian, walker. And tramp means wanderer. Fling means throw. It was publicly stated that the other day that some of the people were sending the oddest things. Oddest means strange. And inspect. It would be interesting to inspect them, study, and In some cases, one imagines such indigestible get into the parcels by accident. Indigestible means incomprehensible. Reluctant means hesitant. Most people, especially non-bookish people, are very reluctant to throw away anything that looks like a book. Hesitant. One knows every worthless volume that is brought finds its way to the shelf and stays there. Worthless means insignificant. It says once, here's the trouble of sorting out the rubbish. Sorting out means arranging. Scaffold means maut ka takhta. Gallows. Scores means numerous. Consign means send. Improvised means improvised. I improvised a sack. Contrived a sack. Sorry. I fancied he looked suspicious, doubtful. Perhaps he suspects I have a swag in this. Stolen goods. Furtive act, secret act. To all who are detected in any deliberately furtive act, secret. He acquitted me apparently. Acquitted, released me. Implications of my act revealed themselves. Implications, effects. It was then that all the implications of my act revealed themselves. Implications means effects. Implication means effect. Implications means effect. Implications means improvised means contrived, suspicious, doubtful. Swag means stolen goods. Furtive means secret. Acquitted, released. Implications, effects. And leaned means bent. Luminous means brilliant. Rumination means thinking. And pedestrian, walker. Tramp means wanderer. Tramp means it was a tramp who had other things to think about. It was a wanderer who had other things to think about. Fling means throw. Fling means throw. Again. Audest means strange. Inspect means study. And indigestible means incomprehensible. Reluctant, hesitant, and insignificant, worthless. Sorting out, arranging. Scaffold, gallows. Scores, numerous. Consign means send. Improvised, a sack. I improvised. Contrived, contrived. Suspicious, doubtful. And a swag means stolen goods. Furtive act, secret act. Acquitted me, released me. And implications means effect. I leaned, bent. Luminous, brilliant. Rumination, thinking. Rumination, thinking. And unconcerned. Pedestrian, walker. And tramp means wanderer. Fling means throw. Fling means throw. Tramp means it was a tramp who had other things, means wanderer. Pedestrian, walker. Rumination means thinking. Rumination, I frequently hoped an air of rumination and unconcern. Rumination means thinking. Luminous means brilliant. I leaned, bent. Implications means effect. Acquitted means released me. Furtive act. Swag means stolen goods. Suspicious, doubtful. And improvised, contrived. Scores means numerous. Consign means send. Scaffold, gallows. Sorting out, arranging. Worthless means insignificant. And reluctant means hesitant. And it will be interesting to inspect them, to study them. Inspect means study. Audest means strange. Okay. I could almost hear this gruff. Gruff means sneering laugh. Gruff means hard. I could almost hear his gruff sneering laugh. Sneering means mocking. Summoning means gathering. Summoning up my courage to take the plunge. And quailing means fearing. Agony, pain. Hastened means quickened. Savagely, wildly. Savagely means wildly. What I thought, savagely, wildly. Okay. Contemptible means hateful. Hateful. Under the resolute mask that you show your friends, is there really a shrinking and contemptible, hateful coward? Heaven, heaven kissing means lowly. The writer was living in a heaven kissing flat means lowly flat. The books were lying forlorn at the bottom, alone. Forlorn means alone. Absurd means silly. Consume means burn up. Rubbish means waste. Implications, effects, opportunity, chance, accumulated, gathered. Evict means remove. Alternative, choice. And tenancy means occupation. Wipe them off the map means destroy completely. Granite means stone. And cold nip means coldness. Cold nip means coldness. Granite means stone. Wipe them off the map means destroy them completely. Tenancy means occupation. Alternative means choice. Evict means remove. And accumulated, gathered, opportunity, chance, implications, effects. And rubbish means waste. Consume means burn up. Absurd means silly. Forlorn means alone. Forlorn means alone. And heaven kissing lowly. Contemptible, hateful, savagely, wildly. And hastened means quickened. Agony means pain. And quailing means fearing. And summoning up my courage. Summoning means gathering. Sneering means mocking. Gruff means hard. Sneering means mocking. Summoning means gathering. And quailing means fearing. And agony means pain. Hastened means quickened. And savagely, wildly. Contemptible means hateful. Heaven kissing flat means lowly flat. Forlorn means alone. The books were lying forlorn at the bottom means alone. Absurd means silly. Consume, burn up. Rubbish means waste. Implications, effects. Opportunity means chance. Accumulated, gathered. Evict. Evict means remove. Alternate means choice. Alternative means choice. Evict means remove. And tenancy means occupation. The writer did not want to leave the books in complete tenancy. Tenancy means occupation. And wipe them off the map, destroy completely. Granite means stone. And cold temp means coldness. Again, I could almost hear his gruff sneering laugh. His gruff means hard. I could almost hear his gruff. Sneering means mocking. And summoning means gathering. Quailing means fearing. Summoning up my courage to take the plunge. And quailing from it and at the last moment. Quailing means fearing. Agony means pain. And hasten means quickened. Savagely, wildly. Contemptible, hateful. And heaven kissing lowly. Forlorn means alone. Absurd means silly. Consume means burn up. Rubbish means waste. Implications means effects. Opportunity means chance. Accumulated, gathered. And evict means remove. Alternate means choice. And tenancy means occupation. Wipe them off the map, destroy completely. Granite, stone. And cold nip means coldness. The lamp threw their gleams across smooth, hard road. Gleams means rays. Solitary means lonely. There were few solitary travelers on the way. Solitary, lonely. The writer strode off towards the little coffee stall. Walked. Strode off means walked. Sweeping, extensive. Girders means supporters. And investigation means trial. Embankment means bank. Implications, results. And swirl means whirl. An air means look of. And seize means grip. Take the plunge means venture. A resolute mask only, firm. Ooze means mire. The right rebuked himself whether he was bearing a resolute mask only. Resolute, firm. Achha. And seize him, grip him. The writer take the plunge means venture. A resolute means firm. Ooze means mire. A resolute means firm. Take the plunge, venture. Seize him, grip. An air, look. An air of rumination, look of rumination. Swirl means whirl. Implications means results. Implications means results. Embankment means bank. Investigation means search. No, investigation means trial. And girders means supports. Extensive sweeping. The sweeping iron girders of the coffee house were visible. The sweeping means extensive. Strode means walked. Solitary, alone. Gleams means rays. Gleams means the lamps threw their gleams across the smooth, hard road. Gleam means rays. Solitary, alone. Strode of. The writer stroke walked. Sweeped. Sweeping means extensive. Extensive. Sweeping means extensive. Girders means the sweeping iron girders of the coffee house were visible. Supports. Girders means supports. Girders means support. Girders means support. He thought that he would bear the investigation means trial, and embankment means bank. Implications means results. Implication means results. Implication means results. Rumination सोच में मगन. Implication means result. Implication इंतजाम करना. Implication means result. Implication. Gruff means भद्दी. Sneering तंजिया. Contemptible नफरत अंगेज. Gallows फंदा. अगानी अजियत. तकलीफ. ओस गीली मिट्टी. A piece of soft wet ground. Pack गैर शफाफ, not transparent. Sort out granite automatically. Pedestrian पैदल चलने वाला. Strayed आवारा. He forlorn means अलविदा. Unhappy, uncared. Sad, miserable, forlorn. Ooze means गीली मिट्टी. A resolute, firm mask. Take the plunge. Take the plunge. Venture. Take the plunge. Bringing summoning courage to take the plunge. To take the plunge. He thought that someone would come to seize him, grip him. An air of and look of. Swirl means whirl. Implication means results. Implication means results. Embankment, bank. Investigation, trial. Girders means supports. And sweeping means extensive. Extensive. Sweeping means extensive. Next, textbook exercise. What sort of books were presented by the British public to soldiers? Most of the books presented to the soldiers were quite ordinary and suitable. However, some people sent the oddest things, such as magazines 20 years old, guides to the Lake Districts, and back numbers of Whitaker's Almanac. What sort of books were presented by the British people to the soldiers? Soldiers, British public. Most of the books presented to the soldiers were quite ordinary and suitable. However, some people sent the oddest things, such as magazines 20 years old, guides to the Lake District, and back numbers of Whitaker's Almanac. Most of the books presented to the soldiers were quite ordinary and suitable. However, some people sent the oddest things, such as magazines 20 years old, guides to the Lake District, and back numbers of the Whitaker's Almanac. Most of the people presented to the soldiers were quite ordinary and suitable. However, some people sent the oddest things, such as magazines 20 years old, guides to the Lake District, and back numbers of Whitaker's Almanac. Most of the books presented to the soldiers were quite ordinary and suitable. However, some people sent the oddest things, such as magazines 20 years old, guides to the Lake District, and back numbers of Whitaker's Almanac. Most of the books presented to the soldiers were quite ordinary and suitable. However, some people sent the oddest things, such as magazines 20 years old, guides to Lake District, and back numbers of Whitakers. कुछ लोगों ने डिसेंट चीज़ें भेजी, मगर कुछ ऐसे लोग थे जिन्होंने 20 साल पुरानी मैगजीन्स भेजी और गाइड्स टू द लेक डिस्ट्रिक्ट और बैक नंबर ऑफ विटाकर्स एल्मेनेक. अच्छा, Whitaker's Almanac. Why should bad books be destroyed? Bad books should be destroyed because they make more room for new and readable books. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish or storing it. They make more room for the new and readable books. They make more room for new and readable books. They make more room for new and readable books. They make more room for new and readable books. They make more room for new and readable books. They make more room for new and readable books. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish and storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish and storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out rubbish or storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish or storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish or storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out rubbish or storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish or storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish or storing it. They save one's ears from the trouble of sorting out the rubbish or storing it. This is difficult to why is it difficult to destroy books? It is difficult to destroy books because there is no proper way of destroying them. According to the writer, it is sometimes difficult to find a scaffold for them. The difficulty once brought him almost within the shadow of death. मौत का फंदा दिखाई दिया उसको. Why couldn't the author burn the unwanted books? The author could not burn the unwanted book because he had scores of them, numerous, बहुत सारे थे, and he had no kitchen range और उसके पास कोई इस तरह का सामान ही नहीं था. In his small flat, उसके छोटे से मकान में फ्लैट में he could not toast them on the gas cooker में और consume them, और ना इनको तबाह कर सकता था लीफ बाय लीफ एक एक करके, बर्न भी नहीं कर सकता था एक एक करके in his small study fire. So the author found it very difficult to get rid of the books. अच्छा, पहली वजह उसका छोटा फ्लैट और उसके पास कोई किचन रेंज नहीं थी. दूसरी कि उसके स्मॉल स्टडी फायर में उसको कंज्यूम भी नहीं कर सकता था, जला भी नहीं सकता था. हाउ डिड द ऑथर फाइनली डिसाइड टू गेट रिड ऑफ द यूजलेस बुक्स? द ऑथर फाइनली डिसाइडेड टू डू द बुक्स व्हाट सो मैनी पीपल डू टू द किटन्स. जी, he decided to stuff these books into sack and throw them into the river in the darkness of the night. The author finally decided to do to the books what so many people do to the kittens. He decided to stuff these books into a sack and throw them in the river in the darkness of the night. He decided to stuff these books into a sack and throw them into the river in the darkness of the night. Describe the author's midnight venture to throw the books in the river and the suspicions which his actions were likely to arouse. The author stuffed the books into a sack and came out into the cold to throw them into the river. He feared that people would think that he was carrying swag in the sack. He was also disturbed by the expected splash which the sack would produce. He thought that people would take it for a baby. जी. Carrying swag in the sack, he was also disturbed by the expected splash which the sack would produce. He thought that the people would take it for a baby. How did the author muster up courage at last to throw the books into the river with the courage of despair? मायूसी में हिम्मत करना. The author finally mustered up his courage. He reprimanded himself. डांट टपट करना अपने आप को. He reprimanded himself and called himself a shameful coward. He thought that if he failed to do a simple thing, he would never be able to hold his head up again. अच्छा, I sat and pondered का मतलब फोकस करना, thought, pondered, सोच, kitchen range, fireplace for cooking. Non-bookish people are reluctant means unwilling, reluctant again means hesitant. Presented means offered, solitary, lonely, scaffold, gallows.